Welcome to the video on range. Let me get the title up here on the board for us. Range. Range is just the difference between the smallest and, well, if we're going to provide a word definition instead of a formula, it's just the difference between the largest and the smallest values. So difference between largest and smallest value. Okay, so going back to the data set, the random variable X, this is the years that you've been, employed at a particular um, job. We've been playing with this particular data set for a while now. We're just going to continue to work with this particular random variable X here. So let's just talk about this, the difference between the largest and smallest values. So let's just define the largest value as what we call X max. And if we look over here in our particular data set, X max, well, the largest raw score value we have is a 9. And let's define now, so that's largest. Let's define the smallest value to be X min. And our smallest value or years of employment over here on our random variable X is 1. So range is just essentially X max minus X min. So in this particular case, what do we get? We get 9 minus 1 equals 8. So the range here, range equals 8, and if we wanted to put the units in, because all measures of variability and measures of central tendency, by the way, will have units attached to them, range equals 8 years. Okay, well, let's just talk about this. So obviously, as a measure of variability, it's clear that this is telling us, how what the difference is between the smallest and the largest value. So its measure of variability is clear. However, it has some drawbacks. We're only using 2 data points. We're using the 1 here, and we're using the 9 to actually get a measure of variability. So the remaining n minus 2 scores, the remaining 8 scores here are actually being ignored. And so we don't know how these other scores are actually kind of differing from one another. And if one of the scores that we're using, either the X max or the X min, is an outlier, just a really extreme score, either extreme above or extreme below that point of central tendency, then if you have an outlier, it's going to, kind of drastically affect the range. So it's kind of a rudimentary measure of variability, but it does kind of give us the degree of dispersion within our particular data set. That's really it for the range. Thanks for watching the video.